Okay, so a month full of so bad they're good horror movies proved to be a bit beyond me. But it's Halloween, so I guess we can talk about The Man in Red. Hello YouTube, I'm Darkest101, and I did plan on doing a whole month of these so bad they're good horror movies, but that appears to be a little bit impossible now. So, we've had a change of plan. Now, we're going to pay a visit to The Man in Red. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with our long-running Hellsing review. And look at that, just in time for Halloween. It's almost like I planned it. And because I'm nice, because it's been a while since we went back to Hellsing, I'm going to continue the trend of giving you guys another special double bill of the Hellsing OVA. Tonight, we'll be having a look at Hellsing Ultimate Episodes 8 and 9. Oh, I have been looking forward to this. The violence, the bloodshed, and finally, Alucard gets back in the goddamn action. Let's get this show on the road then, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, after all, the war's only just begun. Now then, if you may recall, the Millennium Organization, a military group of genuine World War II Nazi vampires, has begun an invasion of London. The 9th Airborne Mobile Crusade, a unit of Vatican-sanctioned soldiers under control from Archbishop Maxwell, are moving to level the entire city, and the Hellsing Organization has been reduced to 3 soldiers. Right, I'm just gonna check my worst case scenarios list, okay? Yeah, that exact scenario is number 3 on my list of worst case scenarios of all time. Just behind total nuclear war at number 2, and number 1, yeah, sticking you dick and crazy. Now, before we go any further in this episode, I have to point out that I have some very mixed feelings just before we start. On the one hand, this episode is fucking gorgeous. The animation quality in the series has always been fucking amazing, but the last 3 episodes it goes from amazing to phenomenal. I mean, hot diggity damn. However, after having praised the previous couple of episodes for having improved the musical quality since episode 1, the audio quality in this episode is fucking tanked, man. Now, I don't mean like the dialogue or the music is muffled or crackly. It's just that in this episode there are these really long, awkward, and obvious pauses in the dialogue. Like, the pauses are so long, they're just almost unnatural. There are also like some really weird plot points that confuse the hell out of me. Like, first of all, the Iscariot forces who were escorting Zarentegra to her mansion in a previous episode are now just realizing, oh shit, we were meant to capture her. Then the Millennium and Vatican forces line up opposite one another with their front lines literally 5 feet away from each other, and they don't open fire instantly. Look, the episode has some impressive imagery, I will give it that, but in terms of plots and dialogue, it might just be the stupidest out of all 10. Also, they finally show what happened to Walter after he has Integra abandon him. Walter was already impressive before whatever the hell Millennium did to him, but hot damn, he looks so badass right now. Cannot wait to see him in action. However, we have no time for that bullshit right now. Have you seen what's coming up the fucking Thames? There's something incredibly chilling about Alucard's return here. The wrecked and ruined ship piloted purely by Alucard's unnatural powers and surrounded by a bank of fog. It's really fucking eerie. Badass, but eerie. And then things get weird. Really weird. Really bloody weird. Alucard and Anderson have this weird stare down with each other, directly in between the Millennium and Vatican forces, who still haven't started shooting each other yet. And for some strange reason, the Millennium captain is there as well. Look, I get it. I really do get it. The captain's like the Millennium's big bruiser. They're heavy infantry. The Millennium answer to Alucard. The Millennium answer to Anderson. He's just their version of those guys. The problem is, we know fuck all about him. The captain has never had a direct confrontation with Alucard or Anderson. There's no history between them, and he has no chemistry with either of them. I get that he's the silent badass, but even the silent badass says something sometimes. He adds nothing to the stare down, really he just makes it awkward. It's like he's just there to watch Anderson and Alucard make out or something. And then they stand there for like a good 30 seconds and literally nobody is shooting it. Can someone kill something, please?
My lord and master,
Jesus!
give me your orders!
Search and destroy! Run them down! Do not let any of them leave the island alive!
It shall be done as you command.
Release control art restriction 0. Announce your return. Say the words and release your full power.
Here standeth the bird of Hermes, eating mine own wings!
Oh, you're getting your guns out now? Oh, you could have got them out earlier, but no, it's only like the king of all vampires is unleashing his true potential. That's fine. It's like a slap on the wrist. You don't need to get your guns out for that. Come on. Look, I get that he wanted to have everyone open fire on Alucard at once. I get that he wanted to have this moment where everyone realizes, oh shit, we are fucked. But wouldn't it have been more powerful if the two armies were already engaged with each other? If the Vatican and Millennium forces were already shooting the shit out of each other? Then Alucard starts his incantation, they all stop, they all turn, recoil in horror and start shooting together at Alucard. Anderson and the captain don't even need to be there for the stare down. The stare down is just fucking weird. Those two could be off doing their own thing, and then once Alucard starts transforming, they're like, oh shit, we are fucked. It feels too sudden and too offbeat, you know? It just feels unnatural, you know? Anyway, this nightmare-inducing shit pops out of Alucard. Like, literally everyone he's ever drained of blood. And Alucard, as you could probably tell, has been alive for a very long time. So, pretty much everyone who gets in the way of Alucard's familiars, yeah, they're dead now. Literally everyone. Nazi vampires, Vatican soldiers, civilians, you know, just fucking everyone in the city of London, they're just dead now. They're dead. At least it gets Maxwell's airship to crash, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. The crash doesn't come before this awesome shot of Alucard post-transformation, however. And of course, that transformation turns him into Dracula. I like the effort that they put into Alucard's Dracula design. Like, you can tell they're both designs of the same entity, but you can also tell that one is an evolution of the other. They both have their pros and cons in terms of their design, but I like them both, and I like the effort that they put into that, so good job, animators. So yeah, Maxwell's airship crashes. Doesn't kill him, unfortunately, and the glass is stronger than Alucard's familiars. However, unfortunately for Maxwell, unfortunately for the rest of us, because Maxwell is a prick, his violent crusade against London has pissed off a certain bayonet priest. It's so satisfying to see Maxwell get everything that's coming to him. Because, you know, he is a colossal penis. And then Alucard and Anderson have a sword fight. I guess Alucard can have some downtime considering his army of familiars are the ones handling the fight against Millennium and the Vatican. Gotta say though, it's pretty damn interesting to watch Alucard in action with a sword for once. Usually it's guns or bare fists. Or teeth sometimes. Speaking of guns, I distinctly remember somebody mentioning that the Jackal was designed to kill Anderson. Bang! Chunk out of his arm right there. Awesome craftsmanship on that one, Walter. Alucard approves. And deciding to test the weakened Anderson to see if the human is worthy enough to be the one to kill him, Alucard throws his familiar into Anderson as well. And the Iscariot forces who have finally had enough of Anderson's shit and caught up with him. I want you to know they actually managed to get Anderson to face Alucard. The fight between Iscariot and Alucard's familiars should be impressive. It should be. It's just an army of ghouls versus an army of exorcist priests. That should be impressive. But we literally know no one in Iscariot, none of the ghouls were meant to care about anyway, and during it all, The Major is spewing the most bullshit philosophy I've ever heard. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, to be honest with you, but as far as I'm concerned, the Major is just as confusing in his rhetoric as the architect from the Matrix movies. Anyway, Anderson and Alucard, who's gonna win? Well, Anderson's arm is hanging by a few strands of flesh, and I don't think I see a bone in there at all, so I think it's gonna be a quick fight in Alucard's favour. What's that? What is that? That a spike or something? What is that?
A nail.
Oh, it's a nail. Close enough. Why did you bring a nail?
It still smells of blood and miracle.
Wait, what? What Anderson is holding here is the Nail of Helena, an item he hopes to use on himself to turn into a monster of God, to which Alucard fiercely objects, demanding Anderson fight him as a human rather than a monster. Anderson ignores him, and Alucard is of course pissed off. And then Anderson turns into this eldritch abomination. Yes. Okay, yes. Yes, I've come to a conclusion about this. That's slightly horrifying. Like, can you just pause for a second and imagine being literally made of thorns and vines? Ah! And then Anderson stabs Alucard in the head and the bayonets catch on fucking fire. And then Alucard passes out or something and the episode's over. Which pissed me the fuck off when I first watched it, because episode 8 was the last Hellsing Ultimate episode to be dubbed in English when I was watching Hellsing Ultimate for the first time. So I had to wait years for Hellsing Ultimate's episode 9 and 10 to be dubbed, and it was years before I saw the conclusion to this fight, because I lack the attention span to watch anime subbed, apparently. Anyway, this episode's a weird one. Like I said, there are some impressive visuals and some really striking moments in this episode, but then there's also some awkward pauses and rather silly compositional choices. It's an oddball of stuff I both like and hate about the Hellsing OVA. Quirky dialogue but awesome action, great music but awkward pauses. And then there's the ones that are specific to this episode, like the fucking weird compositions and backwards ass plot points. And then there's some Major spewing his nonsense, and nothing really plot relevant happens in this episode anyway. Maxwell dies, Alucard releases his true form, and now Anderson's a monster. I mean, the main plot's going again, but even so... I'd like to say this episode isn't bad, but at the same time, I do have to say episode 8 is bad because simply where we are in the series. We're in episode 8 by this point. We shouldn't have 50 episodes of Hellsing. We should have got the formula down like episode 2, episode 3 at the absolute latest. But here we are, we've still got episodes. So, with all that in mind, with the weird composition, ridiculous plot points, fucking awkward as all hell pauses, and the fact that we are in episode 8 and it's still iffy, Hellsing Ultimate Episode 8 gets a dark rating.
You bloody fool!
Let's just hope episode 9 is some way better. It starts off with Alucard flashing back to getting sodomized. Dude, did you not hear what I said earlier about sticking your dick in crazy? Like, even if you're gay, crazy is still crazy. Do not put your genitalia near, around, in the general presence, or inside of crazy. It is a bad idea. This turns out to be a trippy memory sequence as everyone seems to be chipping in on Alucard's flashback to his first lifetime. A mad king and devout follower of God, believing prayer should be found in the withered and bloodied corpse of your enemies. Now that's a religion I can get behind. Oh come on, did you think I'd get rid of this? It makes me feel things. Anyway, Ceres wakes up to Alucard basically screaming in his ear, to which Alucard responds like I would if someone screeched in my ear the night after a hangover. Well, I'm not being 100% honest. If someone woke me up like that when I had a hangover, there'd be a lot more shooting involved. It's fucking Hellsing, let me have this. After displaying some difficulty in the previous episode of fighting Anderson, Alucard goes full tooth and nail on Anderson's bayonets and then rips out his heart with his bare fist, and then crushes it in the exact same fashion. Don't ask me what happens to the nail because I don't know. All I know is Anderson is crumbling to dust and he doesn't have any legs. Like, I know Alucard ripped out his heart, but even so. Is there a very nice scene where Anderson consoles a grieving Alucard because, damn it, Anderson was meant to be the one to end Alucard's immortality. Damn it. Demons do not cry. Well said, Anderson.
Amen, children. Amen. Amen.
Oh shit, look who just rocked up to the party looking fly as fuck! Like, seriously, hot damn does Walter look and sound badass here. I mean, Integra, Alucard and Ceres aren't happy with the betrayal, but Walter is ready to fucking throw down. The Major is too, apparently, as he seems to think now would be the best time for him to face Integra and invites her and Ceres aboard the Deus Ex Machina. That's actually what the airship is called, not making that up. And then this happens.
Ladies, welcome!
Don't fuck with a brick with a gun, Schrodinger. I mean, clearly Integra has some pinpoint accuracy, and I am hungover to all hell right now. And that's where the fight between Alucard and Walter finally kicks off. Now, in episode 2, we already saw that Walter was a badass. In episode 8, we see he can literally stop bullets. Like, the whole first half of the fight between Walter and Alucard, Alucard is on the back foot. He has no idea how to handle Walter. Walter even manages to turn Baskerville, one of Alucard's signature familiars, into a weapon against him. He's literally ripping down buildings all around them, destroys a jackal, and generally just being a badass. However, the means that were used to turn Walter into whatever the hell he is right now weren't exactly the most stable, and now his body's starting to fall apart. From there, it's pretty much downhill for Walter, as Alucard takes control of the battle once more, and puts down his own familiar, thus ridding Walter of his advantage, and, as Walter says, his new toy. As Walter's body begins to fall apart, his last attempt to kill Alucard is met with failure, the vampire having traded his body out for that of Luke Valentine at the last minute. Walter's body regresses into its child state, and Alucard changes form again to match. And I know it's weird to have Alucard's voice coming out of a girl's mouth, but Crispin fucking Freeman somehow makes it work. Alucard then brings the episode by looking to Walter like, bring it on, bitch! I mean, it sounds like there's not much to talk about in this episode, and that's really because there isn't, because it's a vast improvement over episode 8. There's not much plot, because really we're at the end almost. All we have left is for the heroes to conquer the villains, and then we get a little epilogue after the adventure's done. I mean, it's a good episode. We get some insight into Alucard's mind, we get to see Anderson and Alucard finally settle their differences, and Walter gets back into the fight. Great action sequences, great music, and some great character moments. And Schrodinger gets shot.
Ladies, welcome!
Never gonna get tired of that. Anyway, episode 9 is a good episode. It's a step up from episode 8, but it does leave for improvement in episode 10. Even so, it does feel like we're reaching the finale of the series. All things considered, I think Hellsing Ultimate Episode 9 is worthy of a dark rating of 72.
Ladies, welcome!
Right, that's another Hellsing Double Bill out of the way with. I think we have one more week of the spoopy month left, and then I'm going back to doing regular reviews, so if you have anything suggested for November, please drop it in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Darkest101, and you have been watching Darkest101 Reviews. Thanks for watching. Good night, YouTube.